warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description. Chapter 105. The Blue Struggle, when waves speak with the tongue of wounds. This sea does not forgive those who forget how to swim in their own blood. It wasn't a skirmish, it was a rupture in the memory of the ocean. The waves didn't wait for commands. The spears didn't ask the gods for permission. As soon as eyes met, the soldiers collided, like the tide exploding in the face of the islands. The battlefield turned into a weave of screams, as though the throne of the sea decided to exile everything that floated above it. Then came the Eagle Squadron. They didn't descend like birds. They plunged, like insults forged from iron. Each eagle was a wing, but the wing itself became a blade, slicing the wind into ribbons. Their cries weren't calls, they were spells of war, ripping through the air with talons that searched not for feathers, but for flesh. From the depths rose the soldiers of Iapetus and Crius, as if summoned from a curse with no race, no form, only fury. Some had arms like fangs, others wore skin of scaled salt, dripping with venom and regret. Their weapon was simple. They didn't die until they devoured. The two forces met. It wasn't battle, it was consumption, mutual drowning. Every corpse that sank dragged one enemy down with it. One eagle shrieked as he tore open the chest of a marine beast. "If the strike doesn't kill him, let the wave finish the job." Another laughed, though no one could tell if it was a laugh or the snapping of his wing as it bled. Then came the distant strikes. From high above the waters, Crius spun his staff. Circles of water formed around him, rising, converging, then lashing down like whips from a wrathful sea. And Iapetus, he didn't swing weapons. He sliced the ocean with his fists. He carved trenches in the tide and exhaled darkness from his palms, summoning watery storms that swallowed not just bodies, but the screams with them. Poseidon did not move. He stood still, watching, like a god savoring the collapse of the storm's first trial. Each time a bird fell, he shouted. Each time an eagle's chest cracked, his hand rose, followed by a blue bolt, as if the sea itself was punishing its own soldiers to wake them. The commanders had not yet clashed, but the scent of their arrival walked upon the waves, like the smell of war slithering through a narrow alley in the chest of legend. The ocean was not witnessing, it was fighting. Ships shattered. Waves consumed waves, as if the sea had grown tired of itself and decided to eat its children. In a single moment, a column of water exploded. From beneath it, a soldier without a head, and above him, an eagle bleeding from its wing, and behind them, the shadow of Iapetus laughing, as if every drop of blood that spilled washed away a piece of his hatred. Thus, the war at sea began, but the blood was not red. It was blue, and in every shade of that blue was a scream no one remembered and a wound still trying to float. No one could tell who was screaming, who was drowning, who was killing, and who was begging to die. This was only the first ripple of hell. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth A story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us, which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why? We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.